Nokia 7.1, a mid-range phone with a beautiful screen. HMD Global has been making Nokia phones for over a year now. It licenses the name for the devices, and the latest addition to its burgeoning line of devices is the mid-range Nokia 7.1. The new device has an affordable price point that doesn't reach the same levels as the Nokia 8, but it still sports some impressive tech inside and out. We've had time to play around with the new Nokia 7.1 at an event in London, and you can read on below to learn about what we've seen so far from the phone. You'll be able to buy the Nokia 7.1 from October 18 in some markets including countries around Europe, the UK and the Middle East. It will also arrive in the US, but an exact release date for that, and the rest of the world is still unclear. The Nokia 7.1 price is £299 in the UK, where it'll be available from E, Vodafone and Carphone Warehouse. Pricing and availability for the rest of the world is currently unknown. HMD Global has put a big focus on the design of this phone. Its intention is clear that it wants to make a device that looks premium in the hand, but doesn't cost the same as its top-end phones like the Nokia 8 Sirocco. It feels more premium in the flesh than the Nokia 6.1, 2018, and the Nokia 7 Plus, and that's down to the contrasting metallic finishes on each device as well as the diamond-cut colored edges. There's an easy-to-reach fingerprint scanner of the year too, while the power and volume keys on the right are well placed. There's also a headphone jack on the top edge of the Nokia 7.1, with the USB-C port on its base. You can buy it in either midnight blue or gloss steel. The design is lovely, but the big upgrade for this phone comes when you spot the display. It's a 5.84-inch 19:9 aspect ratio IPS display with a FHD Plus resolution. That's 1080 by 2280, so just a bit above full HD, as it has to be a bit higher as it's a longer display. This looks similar to a lot of other modern smartphones at first glance, with a relatively average-sized notch at the top of the display and a thick lip along the bottom of the phone. While the screen may not sound fantastic on paper, it has a few tricks up its sleeve that makes it seem, at least in our testing, to be one of the best displays on the mid-range phone at the moment. It's the company's first display tech with HDR10 support, so any content being watched in HDR will look fantastic, and it's able to upscale your normal SDR video into HDR in real time too. It also comes with a similar technology to Apple's range of iPhones, where the display will automatically adjust brightness and contrast to give you the best picture quality depending on where you are. We've yet to have the opportunity to test this out fully, but it's an interesting feature we're looking forward to pushing forward at the time of our full Nokia 7.1 review. Inside the Nokia 7.1 is a similar affair to a lot of mid-range phones in 2018, with it sporting a Qualcomm Snapdragon 636 chipset that performed acceptably inside the Asus Zenfone 5 when we tried it earlier this year. You've got the choice of 3GB or 4GB of RAM on board, but both should be capable of running most of your favorite apps. You may find it's a little slower than what you're used to if you're switching from a more high-end phone. For storage, you've got the choice of 32GB with 3GB of RAM or 64GB with the 4GB, and if you're set to download a lot of apps, games, movies and music, we'd recommend going for the slightly larger version. There is microSD support on most variants of the phone, but that's only in some markets, and it's currently unclear what size cards the phone will be able to take.